Well, Joe,
Right,
we just brought this over here from this assessment on your property.
right. I'm a
Yeah.
certified real estate assessor.
Who's it from? What company?
Sampson Properties, Oxon Hill.
And, and Clarence is one of the members of my church,
Right,
and he wrote that up for you for
uh-huh,
free
right,
because he's seen the videos of what's happened to you, and that he wants you. He's appalled at what he saw in the video and the undervalue of the property. Now you said they offered $1.1 million, right?
right. What the attorney broker was supposed to get 10%
Well, who
of
was the attorney broker then?
Roland Lee,
Roland Lee was supposed to get 10% of it.
10%. That was his fee.
But did you ever sign a contract with him to sell your property?
Yeah, we signed the paperwork before a brokerage. Well,
Did,
I didn't know what all that stuff
did
meant.
he sign it? Did he? So he brought the documents over, said this is what we're selling it for. Uh,
1.1, I said, worth more than that. So I've been offered more. And he said, well, that gives him a start, you know. He said it won't be no less than that. Now I'm like, so you get 10% and anything you get
So in other words, they got it for $1 million. The valuation on that document right there is what
2.24991, two
million.
million 240,991. Well, at the time, I wasn't even reading contracts and stuff like that. You know, that's why I took it to him. I knew nothing about because I was getting flyers up there
Okay,
on the door at the farmhouse and
right.
the buildings and stuff. That little signs. Some lady needed 5 to 10 acres for solar. I said, well, and she said, call that number for to set up a dialogue. So I took it to him because he was my attorney, I thought, you know, at the time that was working with me with my mother's
Okay,
estate.
but did he? Okay, he was working with you. Explain how you first got involved with him then.
Well, years ago, you know.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, but I mean it was a couple years ago. But when you first went to his office and gave
Right.
did did you give him a check from your mother's
Yes.
estate?
Yes, for $61,000.
Okay.
And he
Did he give
said,
you any paperwork at that time?
well, I told him I needed to borrow some money for the weekend. And I had the check and that the bank wouldn't give me no money on it, so I didn't give it to him and didn't open the account because I had went to the SunTrust Bank and they said it would take a few days, you know, a week or so
To
for it to
clear.
clear.
Right.
So when I took it to him, he said, no, you don't want to do that. You give me the check and I'll deposit it in the trust account and I'll make you money on it with it.
Okay.
It went somewhere like that. And so I signed it and give it to him. And he said he was going to charge me 10%, but I'd make more than that off of it because it was
He was going to charge you 10% for what? The
of the check.
property of the $60,000 check.
Yeah. That's I was just in need of the money at the
How
time.
much money did you get from him?
I got $300 that night.
10% of $60,000. Is $6,000.
Yes, he charged $6,000 to cash it. But the way he talked, he was going to make more than that back for me. Well, he called with a couple of deals with to, that he wanted to lend it to some of his friends, some of it, and I believe it was lent to some of his friends. That was before
He
COVID
lent your
come.
money to some of
No,
his.
he didn't. I didn't wouldn't agree to it because there wasn't no paperwork on it or nothing, and I didn't agree. So he said the reason he didn't make me no money off of it over all that time is he gave me deals, but I wouldn't agree to them. Well, something was out where they want $30,000 to lend to somebody with no papers. Didn't sound good, you know.
Wow.
And anyway, he give me like 1,000 a month or so, whatever. I lived sparingly. I did without a
Right.
lot to try and make that stretch. And then this old deal come along, and that I'm not. I took the letter to him, ordered paperwork, which he called himself a broker, but he didn't go out and find it. I took him the deal. So that wasn't brokering. Now I'm learning now
No,
through
no.
real estate people. And I told him that, you know, I just couldn't mix up.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, this video is being made on the 24th day of March, 2024, and it's here's a copy of the appraisal he just got today. And if you look right down here, there you go. Come on, come on. And right there, $2,220,000, $608. And
Yeah,
he said he sold it for for a million.
1,100,000. And see, the thing about it is, they read a contract. They had a site assessment report. They read a contract that the site assessment report showed the flaws. On the contract, the closing statement and the contract, which I was all out of reading by then. This had went on 3 years. You know, I
Okay.
suffered. You know,
Yeah, that you
and
had diabetes and you.
yeah, my sugar had gone haywire. My stress was all haywire. Living here with no
Well,
air
you
conditioning
you
on
just lost
because
this house, didn't you? At that time,
yes, this was
you lost it because he wouldn't give you the money to pay taxes on it.
no, it was foreclosed,
Well, I mean,
but he
but he wouldn't. Apparently, he didn't have enough money to pay the payments
I
for the
didn't wouldn't
foreclosure.
have had enough money to done
The
it. You know,
$60,000 would have caught you up. You wouldn't have had any problem, right?
the 60,000 altogether would have been $19,000 under to what was owed on this. It was 79,000.
Yeah, 79 was the total debt,
Right,
but you weren't that far behind.
right. But by then I had already done that with that money. I just wasn't thinking. Mom had just passed away, and everybody was just coming and taking what they want out, just as they still are.
Stole all your assets in the
And
house.
everything I had, now I have nothing. You know, I done lost the farm. You know, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. When we were up there, Mike was astonished. He said that would you could have rented that thing out for,
Yeah,
$5,000 a month and never had to touch a thing again.
yeah, I love the place. You know, I didn't. I never knew what I was really getting into. I was just trying to trust him, listening. You know, figured that's the only chance I had with these two brothers of mine being so against
Well, the one
me.
brother was already out of it. It was just the one brother.
Yeah, and
It was
he
just
was. Then they did something. They got to this other brother. Everything. It's just been a mess.
he got two brothers against you, huh?
Yeah,
Even though the second brother was bought out, he didn't have own anything in it, right?
no, but they still got to him, and fed him something where he turned turned him right strictly against me right away. I mean, he was coming around trying to help, and then they threatened with taking the tractor. All my equipment got hauled to the junkyard. Everything I worked and saved for got hauled to the junkyard.
Or they
But
sold
the
it.
closing statement back to that they had there, they had a site assessment that showed what it had, the problems they found, or the site assessment. Then they had a contract or closing statement that said there that none of the stuff existed. Wanted us to sign it. None of that stuff existed.
Yeah, you had a free hearing site assessment, a
Yeah,
free sale from the county that gave you
yeah,
what was wrong with it,
some kind of
and they
ETS
ignored that. They
report.
ignored that.
Right, wanted us to sign that stuff.
He said,
Wasn't no dry wells. It wasn't no buried nothing. It wasn't no wetlands. And they didn't. I wasn't aware of the wetland part. I
that,
just looked at it as woodland. But when they came in and did that, I had Roland come over and my brother. I showed him how they're classifying that. I said, "Now the land don't qualify." And he said, "Well, let them come determine that." It just was set up from the beginning. Of course, I looked at after all the problems started. Then I started reading, and I started finding how the world did I ever sign something like that. Well, I was going by his advice, you know.
well, and the second thing is you were in the hospital and you were in the hospital almost dying, and they were, according to your other testimony, they came in and threatened you in the hospital, and
Mm,
you were having sugar attacks, and doctor told you you couldn't sign anything because you were
yeah.
under medical care.
Mm.
Wow, this is this is
It's,
crazy.
it's just all crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, what
Well,
am I going
Joe,
to do?
I'm gonna end it up with a harsher reality, and you know the the uh, Maryland Attorney Grievance Committee has already sent letters to him
Mm-hmm.
about my complaint to you. Okay, and I filed all the documents in the court. Judge The judge refused to. They wouldn't allow the documents that were filed to be put into the record. They threatened me. If I would make a filing, they would send it back. I took it on appeal. They said I had no jurisdiction
But I asked you to help
to
me.
right. He had asked me to help him, and I filed a motion to intervene. They refused to that. I took it on appeal. The day when I've got the videos of me taking it down and filing the appeal. The clerk of the court in the appellate court would not issue it a case number on it. They sent the package back to the circuit court saying they have no jurisdiction Judge Dawson has no jurisdiction. The Bar Association has no jurisdiction. The police department had no jurisdiction. The state's attorney's office that we contacted has no jurisdiction. Where in the hell does that leave a citizen who's being robbed of everything he has with false and forged documents? So this is my affidavit to the to the Attorney Grievance Committee, and also to the Commission on Judicial Disability. The Judge Dawson's so tied up in this, it's unbelievable. He should be disbarred. He should have been disbarred when he robbed me of my businesses in 1996 and 97. He had no right interfering and working with the mafia to steal my businesses. So, but that being that said, uh, okay, you're sitting here, Joe,
Right.
and you've lost this house, you've lost the farm, you've lost everything
Yeah.
because of Roland Vincent Lee. Everything. So, uh, I've got a copy of this here. I'm sending that as new evidence to the Attorney Grievance Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, the courts are not going to, nobody in this world, no lawyer is going to go up against another lawyer, even though
Right.
they know they're lying, even though they're committing fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Until you dismiss him, file a line to dismiss him, then we can find somebody to file a file a new lawsuit against PP PPE
TPE.
TPE, file a new lawsuit against them and their lawyers and Roland, and and move on, because you never got any paperwork from Roland, any relevant paperwork. Tell the people what happens when there was a hearing. Were you ever allowed to a hearing?
No, I never went to a hearing.
Okay.
They had papers here, but last summer they bring me stuff here. It was all real high sugar. I couldn't hardly walk. My legs and my back and everything were gone. My sugar turned out being 15.5,
Wow.
and that's
That's
five
that's the
times
time when
over.
they took you to his office and they tried to they made you sign documents and wouldn't allow them to be notarized in your while you were
Mm.
in the office, right? You said they made you sign all these documents and you did
Oh
not.
yeah, that was
You did.
no, that was a year ago.
Okay, well, okay.
A year ago, they told me I would be able to sign them so he can call and tell them that I had signed them. They wouldn't notarize them. I said, yeah, don't. I said, I'm not. I, I said, I'll sign them. Of course, it was one after the other. Just hand me one and I signed. I'm like, I don't feel like signing this. Oh, come on, Joe. You know you have to. And I tell the notary, I said, you're not going to notarize this stuff because I'm too stressed out to be signing anything. But as long as I put them in that chair and I can take them with me, after he scans them, I can take them with me. Fine. And so after I got done one after the other on the rest frustration, I mean extremely
Yeah,
frustrated. I remember that, you know, it was horrible because I'd never been treated like that by anybody in my life, you know. And after I got done signing all this stuff, he said, now go on out and smoke you a cigarette. Well, when I went back in, the papers were gone The notary had notarized everything. It had to be a special notary. Every time we had a meeting, that special notary would come. I said, why that notary? Can't we go to Clinton when I'm ready to sign them at my relaxation and I feel comfortable about signing them? I said, there's a notary everywhere up
Where'd he
there.
come from?
We didn't.
Where was his office?
His name was Dusty Dareros from up in Silver Spring or something, Bethesda. But it was the same notary every time. The first papers were done at Miller's office in Clinton. And at that time, I was rejecting them because I had been advised by the doctor not to be signing anything. Mom had just passed away until I seen a therapist.
Right.
Well, by then, the
So
pandemic
Mike
had
Miller's office
started.
was involved in it, huh?
His notary was in there. And Roland knowed her or somehow knowed. But anyway, I looked there. I said, "This says brokerage," and I had been reading somewhat on my phone where it said lawyer broker it should be. Because I said, he's a broker. I said, that's not a lawyer. We need a real estate lawyer, I told.
Yeah.
And he said, I am the lawyer. I said, well, yeah, put it on the paper. I feel more comfortable rather than just broker. And so I signed that
Did
thing.
he
And I
give you a
shouldn't have
copy of the?
signed.
Did he give you a copy of when you signed with
Yeah,
the broker on it?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's tied up now with somebody else's. I got paper scattered so
Okay.
many people trying to get me some help throw it off.
Wow.
And now he wants me to go Tuesday to the psychiatrist that they picked out, and I don't even know the name of the psychiatrist.
No way would you should go. If you go, you just goodbye. You'll be put in a mental institution.
Yeah,
I've seen it before. I've
that's
seen
what
it
they want.
before. I actually got a lady out who'd been put in a mental institution
After 3 years of
after
dealing with
3 years.
these
She
people,
right.
losing everything I got, and they've actually done. He I can't blame the judges unless they knew what was going on.
Well, Judge Dawson knew what's going on.
But Roland never took it to him. They told me he had us covered, had our back all the way through last summer.
Yeah.
And I told him, sign it. I said, told him, Roland, get me out of it. It's bad. It's no good. The deal's bad. Excuse me. The deal is bad. I said, Roland, please. I told him on meetings after meetings. And I said, the contract wasn't signable. Just tell the truth at the hearings. That's all you got to do. I'm arrested at that because that's the way I felt.
Yeah.
That it was a bogus contract. And it said right on the closing statement that it should meet our satisfaction.
Right.
If not, don't sign it.
Yeah.
So I called the title company in North Carolina and informed them they was trying to get us to falsify false information on a contract. And the lady down there handed over to their insurance investigator. And that's where it went from there. And I never heard no more than when Dawson ordered. I called down there. The lady said the money wasn't there. That she would have to get back on me on where it went, who they sent it to. So then I called Judge Dawson's office chain and told the lady there, I said, does he realize there's no money down there in North Carolina? So I hope he knows what he was doing, signing this stuff with the money not being nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And at first, they didn't even know Roland existed down there in North Carolina.
No.
They didn't even have record of him being our attorney or nothing. So,
Well, what's really, you said on several occasions that they would, the, the dates of of hearings, that they would have you come to either his office or stay here at the house,
yeah.
and you weren't allowed to go to court.
But one day I found out, my brother told me later, that me and him was at his office at one during the time period that one of the hearings was taking place, and he never mentioned that's why we were there
Yeah.
or here, that there was a hearing going on at that time. So,
Well, all I can say is you're an intelligent man. You got.
well, evidently not.
I've done the very best I can uh, to help you, but until you dismiss Roland, I just feel sorry for you because that's all I can do. I can feel sorry. Can't help you. Can't help you a bit because nobody's going to be able to help you. You're going to call another attorney, and attorneys will never go up against another attorney.
Right.
That's the way it is in America. It's just a bunch of thieving, lying lawyers. So
Well,
my suggestion is uh, I saw you had a draft here for dismissing your attorney. I would pull it out, sign it, take it down to the court and file it. Then you can turn around and counter sue him and and sue TPE. You got all evidence in the world that anybody would need, and
right.
so. But I'm gonna have to head out of here.
Wow.
I'm so happy. Like I said, Clarence probably would have got maybe $500 for doing something like that. Uh, I thought he was just going to drive by the property.
Right.
He knows the area. I said, you know the area. Just drive by and tell me, give me a cursory review. And that's what he handed to me in church today. So, okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And
Well,
I just don't want to make no
this
statements
is
that
Jordan McDermott signing off. It's the 24th of March, 2024, from Joe Moore's house. And God bless everyone. Have a good day.
I don't. I just don't want to break no laws or nothing. I, I really don't.
Well, you haven't
Yeah,
broke any laws.
I'm not intending
Are you
on
willing to
breaking
give up
laws.
your entire life because they broke the law and they scared they've got you intimidated?
And I definitely am mixed up in the head.
Yeah, I mean it's something
Now,
you had to do. So
now the phone that they got me is all rigged and
yeah, they're filtering all the phone calls and everything else.
know every call I make
Yeah,
and
they
listen at
probably
it.
even have right now. As a way I understand it, they can actually have if your phone is on, that they can actually copy your what we're saying here right now.
Right.
You know, and they've got the money and the resources that they can do it.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have any money, you're nothing but a piece of garbage.
Yeah. And
Okay?
never will have no money like
No,
that.
you'll be put in
They
a
took my whole life,
you'll be put in a home somewhere.
63 years.
Yep. Well,
Just like this girl coming now that brought me this sandwich. I feel that's all through them.
yeah,
You know?
she's getting paid to make those sandwiches and bring them to
You
you.
see, she won't walk in the house, but yet they want me to sign power of attorney over and make her a caregiver of me. And she had to say about the money.
No,
Huh?
no,
A power of
if they
attorney,
want
that's what
her
it
to
is.
sign power of attorney to her, and
Her
that
and her boss.
her and her brother, that means you're being set up. Okay,
Right.
now
Well,
if you want,
I just try
if
and
you
look at
want,
Rome as,
if if you need not to go to that shrink next week under any circumstances, and if you want to sign over a limited power of attorney to me so that I can only represent you in this in court as a victim's advocate, you know, and that I will do that to make sure that they don't steal anymore. But you've got to have help, and no attorney's going to help you. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
I will. That by me being a limited power of attorney for this purpose, I can represent your interest because you know.
Right.
Okay.
Well, this guy that she is her boss, he claims he's got an attorney. And I called the attorney's office. It's the Brennan Law Group. And they want the case, but they want $5,000. And I don't have the $5,000 unless I use solar earnest money. You know?
Well, the earnest money is void now.
Yeah.
When they broke the contract, that earnest money
Well, they
is
didn't break
yours.
it if they went ahead and took the property
No,
and
no, no.
stole it.
That's exactly it. They went ahead and took the property
And
under
stole
false.
it.
Took it under false pretenses and
Right.
stole it to
By,
keep you from getting access.
yeah.
So it's not solar money anymore. Your brother
Yeah,
is.
I wasn't really looking at it as an asset when it first was
You would look.
dealing with.
I
I was
thought you.
looking at it as a home and my job and everything.
I thought you said that they were giving it to us a 2-year lease to rent to see if it was wise.
That's what he told me from the beginning. You know what his answer was when me and Chris got on about that?
Yeah.
I told him about that. He said, "Oh, that no, you get to keep that, whether they want it or not." I said, "No, this is earnest money. That has to be
No,
uh,
until they breach the contract, it's earnest money. Then
right,
it becomes your money.
right."
Okay?
He said wouldn't rent. I told him you told us it would be rent for 2 years. He said you got it. It's deposited.
But you
I'm
you've
like,
never
it
seen
wasn't rent.
you've
It
never
was
seen
earnest money. It
you've
was.
never seen an accounting of a nickel of your mother's check or any
He
other
give me
fees.
$1,000 a month or so over a 5 year period.
No,
Let
no.
me get you a paper napkin.
Okay, well I'm gonna get out of here. Joe, God bless, and I'll keep in touch with you. Yeah, that's good. Toss it here. Apparently, I'm bleeding up here a little bit. No,
Yeah, I see you got a little bump up there.
okay. Well, there you go, folks. You've heard it. You've heard pretty much the whole story. I've got other videos, multiple videos of this, but
Yeah.
it's just like Sherry Evelyn's case in Elkin, Maryland. It's all a scam. Everything that the lawyers do is a scam. So, okie doke. Well, Joe.
That's what I should have done from the beginning. Suggested it being appraised, but I knew I had gravel there. I knew, but I wasn't going to destroy the farmland
No,
because my intentions was the farming. You know,
right. So we'll just have to do what we got. I'm going to copy what I gave you today
right?
into the Maryland Attorney Grievance Committee and the Bar Council. It's useless to try to contact any other government agency because there isn't anybody in the whole government that I
Well,
think is honest.
he told me that the grievance committee was going to get on me and get on you that we're breaking the law. So,
Well, and he told you that they were going to get on me, right?
yeah,
Good. Okay. Well,
for breaking the law,
well
practicing law.
no. The Supreme Court of the United States clearly states that because the government is a corporation,
Mhm.
all lawyers in the United States cannot be licensed. They can't be licensed.
Right.
Their corporate officers can,
Mhm.
but the license under the FISA agreement, they can't be licensed. And on top of that, the FISA agreement makes judges and attorneys and everybody else liable when they violate their oath of office.
Right.
Because what they did is they surrendered their citizenship in the United States in in order to become government agents, and they've taken oaths of office to the bar association,
Mhm.
oaths of office to counties, oaths of offices to states, but they're all corporate entities,
Yeah,
and the bylaws of the corporate entities say yes, you must act under the rules of professional conduct and standard of professional responsibility.
they even went to all the church groups and done bribed them with big handouts, for the food banks, which is good that they at least somebody gets something out of it.
Well,
But it was done for a reason. They probably won't see no more until
well,
it's
yeah,
probably all going to end one.
right now our whole system is ruined. President, the former CEO, he's not even the president of the United States. He might hold that title, but he's really the CEO, Trump.
Mhm.
Okay, he violated his oath of office. I believe I heard just the other night that he had, while in his term up to now, he has been involved in 1,900 different litigation cases. And what he's doing is he's doing just like Roland. He's weaponized the court system against us.
Right.
So, but you're good there.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Well, that's
Well,
I was hoping I'd find out what I got wrong. I think it's just stress,
okay.
exhaustion.
Well,
I'm wore out. I'm mentally beat.
I am.
I'm mentally had my butt whipped
Uh,
ever since I was 6 years old. Well, one day old, I
okay.
was up there
Do you
with my
have anybody
grandmother
in
and
this world
grandfather.
you can trust right now?
No.
Okay. Well, like I said, I uh, will be willing to enter into a limited power of attorney,
Mhm.
not to get paid anything, until you get this thing settled, or if you feel like donating something to me, fine. But I'm not to receive any of your property. I'm not receive anything except it gives me the power to act in your behalf as a senior citizen.
Right. Well,
But don't go with that gal there. I'm gonna tell you. I can tell you right
uh,
now.
I'm nervous about that.
Well, don't.
I'm not.
Well, Joe. God bless. Have a good day. We'll